You are being watched right now, not by a person, not by a camera, by a part of your brain so old it predates language, predates fire, predates everything you think of as human civilization. It is scanning, it is calculating, it is deciding in milliseconds whether you are safe or whether something is about to kill you. And most of the time, in your ordinary modern life, it is wrong. This is the story of the oldest software running inside you. A threat detection system so powerful, so deeply wired, that no amount of logic or reason can fully override it. A system that was built for a world that no longer exists. And a system that is quietly shaping almost every decision you make. Every single day. Let's go back. About 2 million years back. Your ancestor is standing in open grassland in East Africa. The savanna stretches in every direction. The grass is tall enough to hide things. The light is fading. And somewhere in the world around them, something is watching them back. Predators were not an occasional problem for early humans. They were a constant daily reality. Lions, leopards, hyenas, saber-toothed cats. Giant eagles large enough to carry a child. Snakes hidden in every shadow. For over 2 million years, your ancestors woke up every single morning inside a world that was actively trying to eat them. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux at New York University spent decades mapping what happens inside the human brain when it detects a threat. What he found was a structure buried deep in the center of your brain called the amygdala. Two small almond-shaped clusters of neurons, one on each side. And their job, above everything else, is to detect danger and respond before you are even consciously aware that anything has happened. The amygdala does not wait for you to think. That is the whole point. Thinking takes time. And time, on the ancient savannah, was the difference between life and death. Ledoux identified what he called the low road and the high road of fear processing. The high road is the one you know. Sensory information travels to your cortex. You process it consciously. You think about what you are seeing. You decide how to respond. That process takes about half a second. The low road bypasses all of that. Sensory information goes directly to the amygdala, which fires a threat response in about 12 milliseconds, 40 times faster than conscious thought. Before you know you are scared, you are already scared. Your heart rate has jumped. Adrenaline is flooding your bloodstream. Your pupils have dilated to let in more light. The blood has been redirected away from your digestive system and toward your large muscle groups. Your body is already running the escape program before your conscious mind has finished asking what that noise was. This system saved your ancestors' lives, millions of times, over millions of years. Every human alive today is the descendant of someone whose amygdala fired fast enough, often enough, to keep them alive long enough to reproduce. You are, in the most literal sense possible, the product of 2 million years of successful threat detection. But here is where the story gets strange. That same system is running right now. Inside you, in your kitchen, in your office, in the car on your way to work. And it cannot tell the difference between a leopard in the tall grass and a passive-aggressive email from your manager. Psychologist Paul Rosen at the University of Pennsylvania introduced a concept he called the negativity bias, the well-documented tendency of the human brain to respond more strongly, more quickly, and more persistently to negative information than to positive information of equal intensity. Bad is stronger than good. A threat is more urgent than an opportunity. Your brain pays more attention to what might hurt you than to what might help you. This was adaptive. On the savannah, missing a potential threat was far more costly than missing a potential opportunity. You could find food tomorrow. You could not unbe eaten. So the brain evolved to weight danger heavily, to notice it first, to remember it longer, to ruminate on it in quiet moments. Think about what that means for your modern life. You receive 10 pieces of good news and 1 piece of bad news. Which one do you think about at 3 a.m.? You have 100 positive interactions with people and 1 awkward moment. Which one replays in your head for days? Your brain is not broken. It is working exactly as designed. It is just designed for a world where the cost of ignoring a threat was death. Researcher Martin Seligman at the University of Pennsylvania, one of the founders of positive psychology, spent years studying a phenomenon he called learned helplessness. The way repeated exposure to unavoidable stress eventually causes an organism to stop trying to escape, even when escape becomes possible. He found this in rats. He found it in dogs. And he found strong parallels in human beings. What he was looking at, without fully framing it this way at the time, was an ancient threat response that had been pushed beyond its design specifications. A nervous system built for short bursts of intense stress. Run from the lion, fight the rival, escape the flood. Being asked to process the low-level, chronic, never fully resolved stress of modern life. Deadlines that don't end. Financial pressure that doesn't resolve. Social comparisons that never stop. The threat system was never designed for this. It was designed for emergencies, not for a permanent state of emergency. And there is something even stranger happening beneath all of this. Your brain does not just respond to real threats. It responds to the possibility of threats, to things that look like threats, to things that remind it of threats. Research by Arne Åman at the Karolinska Institute in Sweden found that human beings learn to fear certain stimuli. Snakes, spiders, angry faces, darkness, far more easily and with far less reinforcement than they learn to fear genuinely dangerous modern things like cars or electrical outlets. We are biologically prepared to fear the ancient dangers. Show a person images of snakes and images of flowers, both paired with mild electric shocks, and they will develop a fear response to the snakes that persists long after the shocks stop. The fear of flowers fades quickly. The fear of snakes lingers, because somewhere in your ancient brain, the snake template is preloaded. The car is not. This is why horror films use darkness and silence, why we feel uneasy in enclosed spaces with no exit, why the sound of a sudden scream activates something primitive and immediate in your chest, why you can walk past 100 strangers safely and still feel a cold prickle of unease when one of them looks at you for a fraction of a second too long. Your brain is not evaluating the actual statistical danger. It is pattern matching against 2 million years of threat templates. And the truly remarkable thing, the thing that should make you stop and think, is that you cannot turn this off. You can know, intellectually, that you are safe. You can know that the spider is not dangerous, that the email cannot hurt you, that the strange sound was just the house settling. Your cortex can be absolutely certain, and your amygdala will still fire, still send the signal, still flood your body with the chemistry of threat. Because it does not consult your cortex. It does not wait for your considered opinion. It acts first and explains later, if at all. What you call anxiety is often this system misfiring. What you call stress is often this system running a program designed for acute physical danger in response to chronic social and professional pressure. What you call overthinking is often your prefrontal cortex trying, imperfectly, to talk your amygdala down from a threat response it triggered before you finished reading the first sentence of that message. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are a modern human being running 2-million-year-old software in a world that was built last Tuesday. The savannah is gone. The leopards are gone. The tall grass where death waited at dusk is gone. But tonight, when something small goes wrong, when a message arrives with a cold tone, when a silence lasts a beat too long, when you lie awake replaying a moment that already passed, somewhere in the deep architecture of your brain, a small almond-shaped cluster of ancient neurons will be doing exactly what it was built to do. Watching, scanning, deciding, just in case something out there is still hunting you.